Welcome to this session on combinations. In this session, we will take a look at a few more basic word problems. So here we have our first problem. A working committee of 5 members must be selected from a group of 6 IAS and 5 IFS officers for the newly appointed Niti Aayog. In how many ways can the selection be made if the group contains at least 2 IAS and 2 IFS officers? And the second part of the question is the group contains at least 3 IAS officers. So the first thing we should do is we should try to analyze the situation here. We'll solve one part of the question on one side and the other part on the other side. Let us see the first part here. So we have 5 IAS officers. So the number of IAS officers available with us. So let us quickly tabulate the following things. What is the number of officers available to us? The number of officers available to us, the IAS officers are 6 as given in the question, and the IFS officers are 5. Once again, this information has been given in the question. Now because we have to select at least 2 IAS and at least 2 IFS officers out of 5, so the first thing we can do is either we can select, in the first case we can select 2 IAS officers and 3 from the IFS group, and the second selection can be you select 3 IAS and 2 IFS officers. So these cases are excluding each other, therefore we have odd. That means either this case can exist or this case can exist. Both cannot happen together or at the same time. That means we cannot have selected 2 IFS officers and 3 at the same time. So between both these cases, we have an OR case in between. So what do we say about the selections? That either we select 2 IAS officers and 3 IFS officers, or we select 3 IAS and 2 IFS officers. So in how many ways can you select 2 IAS out of 6? We can do that in 6C 2 ways. Multiplied by in how many ways can you select the 3 IFS officers out of 5? That can take place in 5C 3 ways. And because there is an OR in between, we will have a plus sign here. And in how many ways you can select 3 IAS from 6? 6C3 into, in how many ways can you select 2 IFS from 5? 5C2. So all we now need to do is we just need to simplify this and arrive at our answer. So 6C2 is 15 into 10 plus 20 into 10. So 200 plus 150, that is 350 possible ways. So we have 350 possible ways for selecting the group of 5 members in such a way that at least 2 must be IAS and at least 2 must be IFS. Now looking at the second part of this question, we have, so once again the available IAS officers are 6 and the available IFS officers are 5. Now we need to select at least 3 IAS officers. So because there is a necessity of selecting at least 3 IAS officers and there are 6 IAS officers available to us, you can select either 3 IAS officers, or you can select 4, or you can select all the 5 IAS officers. Once we've selected these IAS officers, we can now go and select the IFS officers. We want a team of 5. 3 are already selected from these 6. The remaining number of members required to be selected are only 2. If 4 IAS are selected, then only 1 IFS needs to be selected. And similarly, if 5 IAS officers are selected, then we don't need to select any IFS officers. So there are 3 cases here. This is case 1, 3 IAS, 2 IFS. This is case 2, 4 IAS, 1 IFS. And this is case 3, 5 IAS and none IFS. This selection can be done in the following ways. For case 1, 6C3 multiplied by 5C2. For case 2, it will be 64 into 5C1 plus 65 into 5C0. And what is the outcome of all of this? (20 into 10 plus 15 into 5 plus 6, which is equal to 200 plus 75 plus 6, so 281 ways. So we saw how we have been able to solve an elementary question, a basic applied question of combination. Let us take a look at another similar question. So here we have that question. Dinanath selects 4 bright students from which he must send some students to represent the school, and he must send at least 1 student for the cause. In how many ways can Dinanath select the students? Once again, the first thing we need to do is we need to identify how many cases or how many conditions exist. Now, from how many students can Dinanath select? He has 4 students to select, and the condition is he has to send at least 1 student. So what can he do? He can either select 1 student, or he can select 2 students, or he can select 3 students, or he can select all the 4 students. Now these 4 cases are mutually exclusive. That means if Dinanath selects 1 student to represent, he will not select 2 students to represent. If he selects only 2 students, then the other 3 cases cannot exist, and therefore these 4 cases are mutually exclusive. So you have case 1 where only 1 selection is made, you have case 2 when only 2 selections are made, you have case 3 in which 3 selections are made, you have case 4 in which 4 selections are made. So in how many ways can he make all his selections? 4C1 for the first case, and because there is an or in between, we have an addition sign, plus 4C2 for the second case. Once again there is an or in between, so we put an addition sign. 4C3 plus 4C4. So we have 4 plus 6 plus 4 plus 1. So 10, 4, 14 plus 1. In 15 ways, Dinanath can select the students for representing the school. So with this we come to an end of this particular session. If you wish to watch more videos, or if you wish to solve more questions, please visit our website www.pfindia.com. You can also mail your queries at studentservices@pfindia.com, and if you're watching this video on our website, then you can use the Ask a Doubt feature to ask your doubts. Thank you very much.